Jordan, do you have all of them?
I got 3. I can make the head. I've got nothing else to do.
I don't care if you want to. You can.
Where is the Sergio's quest located?
It is in the G
G
events. It
events.
is called Case Closed, I think.
Look at that. There's one that is just called Shonen below this.
Okay. Oh yeah. It's called Velocifuck.
Is that what it's called?
Let's see.
Hey guys, check me out.
The
Oh,
Funk Soul
well,
brother. I like your
I won't
hips.
bother putting it on. Let me come
They
up.
don't lie.
Oh, what?
Actually, I
Did you
really
leave a weird
like.
hip piece on?
I really like that hip piece. With that,
So,
that's good and dumb.
yeah, it is. So it's sneak. Skills affect the likelihood of being. So you have less chance of being targeted by.
Is it just
distance runner.
sneak?
It's sneak
Oh.
and distance runner.
This is the dumbest suit of armor ever.
So you could run a lot and not be seen doing it.
Except sneak like barely works as a skill. It's like the most useless bullshit.
Yeah.
Of course it is. You expect something like that specific to work in Monster Hunter?
Yeah, we can't have that face. That is, I'm outlawing that. That is the face of a criminal.
By definition.
Like I would be kind of concerned how close this is straying to like blackface, but it's just so dumb. I think it's just this weird shadow man or whatever.
Yeah,
You know-
I kind of get what I don't think it's quite blackface, but
It's fine because we're not doing the face.
It's true.
What I bet true. What I bet it is that like in the show, like whenever the detective kid visualizes the criminal before they've caught him, that's like what he looks like. That's
Yeah.
That seems like
best
a
guess.
trope.
Oh, you know what? Oh, wow. Wow. So, having just said that, I just got a reference in the Melancholy of Arnie Suzumiya. In the episode where they're on the island,
Oh yeah.
and there's like
do.
this weird shadow man at the very end, and it's like, what the fuck was that?
I do vaguely remember that. Yeah.
That was super duper a Case Closed reference that I'm just getting, because they also made a Phoenix Wright reference in that episode. With the whole, like, Harvey doing the whole, like, objection finger.
Yeah.
Wow. That was a very roundabout way of getting that bit.
Thanks, Monster Hunter.
Thanks, Capcom.
Capcom USA _
Gotta love Capcom USA _
My
Definitely the
favorite
real
Twitter
Capcom.
account. Capcom USA and Capcom are frauds.
Do you think anybody like made like a living out of just like right when Twitter was a thing, claiming all of like the corporate Twitter accounts and then selling it back?
I hope so.
I kind of do too.
Because I commend that person.
I-
Basically
Oh yeah,
holding...
yeah.
I think
Domains
people
at ransom.
tried trying to do like the .com squatter thing, but I don't think
Yeah.
it was probably not nearly as successful on Twitter.
Well,
Probably
clearly
not,
they...
but
Yeah,
Well,
obviously Capcom didn't give a shit.
the trick is to also claim every variation of it. And so when it's just
Right.
like,
Then-
so like I got Capcom, and then Capcom's like, fine, I'm Capcom _, and then it's like, got that one too. All right, Capcom 1. I got Capcom 1 through 150,000. Like, good luck.
Can you imagine spending like an entire fucking week making Twitter accounts that are just variations of Capcom
I mean,
for that purpose?
You need so many different email accounts.
Yeah, for real.
Like
Only for them to just choose like Capcom / or something, like the
you
one
can't
thing
do
you didn't
slashes.
think to
You
do.
can't do slashes in a
Oh,
Twitter
you can't. You know what? That makes sense.
ad.
Okay, I'm gonna fucking paintball it this time, Chris.
I don't
How about
understand
that?
what you mean. It would fuck with the hyperlink. Is the Tim?
Yes. See, that's what I understood, and you didn't. You didn't need to say that.
So you know how in HTTP,
What if it's a forward slash? Wait, wait, which is the normal one? Backslash, right?
I think
Where's
forward
the
slash
forward
is the normal. It's impossible to know. For some reason, we have two of them. No one has ever used the other one.
Pretty much. Whatever the other one is, no one has used it. Except in weird emoticons.
I was gonna say, except sometimes you need the weird slash face because there is no emoji
Yeah.
that communicates that.
Yeah, and even the emojis that they make for it just don't really get the right
I
point across.
despise every single time something auto changes my emoticon to an emoji.
Yeah.
I
So
just
you
don't use.
like Messenger at all.
I don't use either of them.
Twitter does the same thing, doesn't it?
I think so. I have started using both of them in the past couple of years, and I use them both to mean specific things, and changing one to the other is bullshit.
I just don't use them. It's not like my opposition to Venmo, which is moral and extremely important.
Yeah, but now you've used it, so you're a fucking fraud who bows before a
Chris, I gave you
throne that
months
was
to
built
give me your
upon
address.
lies.
I gave you months to give me your address so I could mail you a check.
I have stated my
believe you would
address
rather-
several times.
Cannot believe you would rather send a check through the U.S. Postal Service.
For $6 fucking dollars.
It's kind of a bit, but at the same time, I kind of.
Can you? Do they even tender checks that low?
I'm sure you could.
My grandpa won't even send money through USPS anymore because like he sent me $50 one time and it just didn't show up.
That's why you send a check.
Well, and also, my brother's tax return was stolen last year by the
Jesus.
Columbus Postal Department.
So you're not saying it was literally stolen; it was just figuratively stolen.
No, it was someone cashed it, and
Oh,
it never arrived to him from the postal department.
How did
That's wild.
they cash it?
I don't know. Also,
I mean, they probably
like,
put in a TurboTax. Like as long as you have that one number, it'll fill in everything else.
I don't really know.
Speaking of somebody who like files their taxes online, you only need the one number.
Yeah, it was something though. I mean, like,
I also file my taxes online. I don't use Intuit though because I'm not scum.
Into it?
TurboTax.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just the first one I signed up for.
Why
I
does
don't
that make
care.
you scum? Well, you
Because-
also have a single income. You don't need to use TurboTax.
Well, right, but because they spend millions of dollars lobbying to the GOP so that. Sorry, Jordan.
No, fuck you.
So
It's
that
okay.
the government cannot and will not set up an easy way to file online, or how other countries do it. The government does that shit for you, and then just
Yeah.
sends you a letter saying, "Hey, does this look right?"
Very interesting.
I also participate in capitalism, so like I'm not gonna feel bad about like
Sure.
using a
No,
system
I
that I
think
have
it's
to use
actually-
because our tax code is archaic.
I've used Credit Karma the past 2 years, and it has been significantly better than TurboTax was.
Oh,
Do you
keep that
have
in mind.
anything that would work for freelancers though at all?
I mean, I would at least check out Credit Karma because they seem at least a little bit less scummy than TurboTax.
Fair. I don't know. I already have mine like in. I'm about to like. I'll probably hit enter like tomorrow. Where are you going with this?
I don't know.
Oh, what are we talking about?
Taxes. You are stupid and refuse to use Venmo, even though you have used Venmo.
Yeah, I will never use it again though.
I'm gonna make you use it in 7 months
No, I'm going to mail you a check.
for $5 this time.
Yeah,
Because
and you'll be happy to get it.
because Haley will be joining.
Oh, she will. Nice.
Yes. Yeah. Wait. Can she could join right away, right?
Yeah, I just have to press a button.
Okay.
I just need her email address that's attached to her Nintendo account or something.
Also, Chris, I don't actually have your address.
I've stated it several times.
I don't remember seeing it. and I don't think you stated it to me directly.
Chicago, Illinois, apartment 275 60266. No,
Okay.
one of those, several of those numbers were correct, but they were not in the right order.
Great. So I still can't even send you a check.
It was just
Anyway,
it was just the zip code.
I already deleted Venmo from my phone, and I should probably delete the account.
You are a man of strange conviction.
Look, man, I don't know. I just don't.
Better than a man of none, but
I just like don't trust these systems. I used PayPal like once, and then I like ended up losing like somehow like a fraudulent $100 charge on it like a month later. So.
Yeah, but I
you
mean, like,
just tell your banking institution.
Oh, I did. But it was annoying, and I was just like, fuck it, I'm not. And again, it's partly a bit, and partly I just don't want to deal with it.
yeah, with Bank of America, I've been a member of Bank of America for 3 years because for some fucking reason North Carolina is the only state in the United States that doesn't have Chase.
Yeah, that's weird.
Like not even an exaggeration. And in that time, in those like 2.5 or 3 years, I have gotten 5 cards.
Whoa.
5 new debit cards because they're like, oh, we think your account something blah blah blah. Here's a new card. I'm like, all right.
I mean,
sure.
it's better than them being like, we noticed something. We're not gonna tell them. Though.
Look, I was actually extremely impressed with how Chase handled my issue. I told him like, hey, I didn't do this, and then they were like, are you sure you didn't do this? And I was like, yeah, pretty. Solve it.
Yeah, I know. I actually
half an hour.
liked Chase quite a bit.
Yeah, I was pretty
Perfectly
impressed.
good when I had it.
I have been considering transferring over to a credit union.
Yeah, I mean, in general, it's probably better to do it than like one of the. But I've been very satisfied with how Chase was like. It's like I've heard a lot of horror stories like, oh, I called my bank. And...
Ooh, help!
And mine was like.
Credit union will be really helpful when you never want to move anywhere ever again.
Well, that is a noticeable problem. Like, definitely not insignificant in any way.
Because Haley has been a member of Indiana Members Credit Union for her entire life. And they have one ATM, and it's at the bank. And she still has to send in checks through a fucking tube at the bank for them to deposit them. I'm like, that shit doesn't seem even mildly worth it to me.
Well, but then you got to remember that you're not
like
supporting one of the institutions that crashed the economy.
And also, you're getting
guess.
like an actual amount of interest on like savings. I mean, we're zillennials, so like that's not a thing. But
no,
I'm pretty sure I'm a millennial.
Certainly not a thing yet.
I'm also we're all like technically millennials, I think, but also generations are fake and we're tweeners.
I
also refuse to call myself a zillennial. That's a terrible name.
That's actually, that's an awful name.
I know it is. I called my little sister a Zoomer and she got really mad.
Yeah, Zoomer's the much better name. And if your little sister can't handle that, then she's a piece of shit.
Why would she get mad at that?
Right?
I've heard my cousin is a Zoomer and he calls himself a Zoomer all the time.
It's because she was trying to say that she is not a Zoomer. I'm like,
but she is, like, 100%.
Yes. She's all like, no, those kids like there's a technology difference, and I'm like, girl, you had a fucking iPhone in 8th grade. What the shit are you talking about?
Are you shitting me?
She's like, technically, it was the summer after 8th grade, before freshman year, and I'm like, bitch, shut the fuck up.
You should have seen my fucking 8th grade phone that I got in 8th grade for going into high school.
Yeah. It
was I don't even, like, it had a digital screen that wasn't backlit, and it was like, it was just like a little pod.
I think we went the wrong way.
Oh, did we?
It's impossible to know.
True. I'm trying to remember.
My phone was extremely outdated even for the time that I had it, though. I was kind of ashamed of it.
I want to say my 8th grade phone was one of the ones that was like double thick, so that you could do T9 on the front or turn it to the side and do a full keyboard. Like if you slid the screen up, that was a hot drink. That was unnecessary.
I might have had one of those too.
if you had a luxury telephone, basically at any time, like from middle school through to high school, I think you're a Zoomer.
I think I
Well, you
got
mean by
my
electric telephone, you mean smartphone?
Like basically an iPhone. Like
Yeah.
not smartphone because there's a huge gradient of like prices and expenses for smartphones. Like obviously, Jordan, you and I have like kind of the budget
Yeah.
Samsung smartphone.
Well, I would say that smartphone is much more a matter of like computing power and like because like here's the
Yeah.
thing, I didn't get a cell phone that could surf the web until I got to college, and I would say that like
It's limp. It's
Same
limp.
here. Oh yeah, it is. Oh
Um,
shit! Ah! Fuck! Well, we know where it goes. Why was I that angry?
Yeah, I
go
got.
ahead, Jordan.
I think I got a Samsung Galaxy S3 junior or senior year of high school.
Chris,
yeah,
don't.
I was just pretty.
No, I know.
Okay.
I
I
can
don't know.
see on the map where the zone is.
I had a flip phone until
I had a-
senior year of high school, and then I got like this really shitty like knockoff BlackBerry kind of looking phone, and that's the one I started college with.
Oh, built balls.
Oh, well, huh.
Whatever. I've set a trap.
and, like,
Ass.
I had a flip phone in middle school. When did you guys first get a cell phone?
I think in 8th grade.
Yeah, mine was post 8th grade, and it was my brother's old cell phone.
I got one, I think, in 6th grade, which was my parents' like. My parents' thought process was, if I was going to be regularly staying at school, like for extracurriculars, they wanted me to have like an easy way to communicate with them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, not unreasonable, but I was very bad about carrying it. I did not carry my cell phone. Probably high school.
If I, if I have a kid, which I'm still like, I don't care at this point still, but like, if I have a kid, I wonder what the hell I'm going to do, like, technology-wise. Because I sure as hell know that I would not want my kid to be, like, addicted to an iPad or an iPhone when they're, like, 3. But that's just the norm now. And I mean, I'm not even, like, blaming anyone. Like, obviously, it's good to get your kid off your back for a little bit. And if you have it, like, locked down heavily enough, like, no, it's not, like, it's dangerous or anything, but the dependency is definitely real.
Yeah, I think I probably am gonna be like kind of the middle ground, like try to like limit screen time without necessarily it never being like never a thing. Because some parents are like real obsessive about never letting their kid look at an iPod until they're like 20.
Right.
And that
Yeah, I
seems,
don't think I would be that way.
and that seems bad in a different way.
Yeah,
Right,
that just
I
seems like
forgot.
there would be some resentment.
Hey, let's go kill a couple of Remobra.
Is it just a Remobra?
Rubbery Fine Hide, I'm pretty sure.
I thought that might be a Gypsaros or something.
Who might be a gypsy rose?
Easy enough to look up. So what happened was my sister wished me a happy birthday when I turned 25, and I said, I'm an old, I appreciate the well wishes from a Zoomer. And she immediately said, wow, sad that I have to disown you on your birthday for calling me a Zoomer. I was aghast, and she said, I asked, are you not Gen Z? She said, I mean, technically, but also, like, kids born in 05 are Gen Z, and, like, there's a giant generation gap there, with the technology growing up. And I said, you had an iPhone
Jesus
in, like,
Christ.
8th grade, kid.
Yeah.
Also, millennial spans like a fucking 20-year period. It seems
Yeah, like-
Every
This is
generation does, because it's supposed to be a 30-year thing.
This is
yeah.
why generations are bad and
Yeah.
well, not bad, just useless as any sort of actual measurement.
Yes.
Certainly anymore they're like virtually useless. Things just evolve too fast now. And too
Yeah,
much
like, no-
shit happens in the world for like
Yeah.
people to be defined by the same thing for 30 years.
Ah, balls. Rubbery Fine Hide is Stripsaurus.
No, it's not the worst. Yeah, it's just like because I'm actually curious what the millennial like age difference is. Because I think we're millennials, but we're like young millennials.
Yes, the millennial Gen Z end start is supposedly 1995.
Yeah, I'm seeing 1996. So 95, 96 seems the correct thing. So we're all like kind of in the millennial area. We're like the
Right.
tail end of millennials, which seems
Haley is
odd.
literally like the dividing line human for like the generational difference, because she's 97, born in May.
Yeah, that would be
And I
about
think
that.
like, because people will say like, oh well, the cutoff is 97, but some people are like, oh well, like some people say that millennial is through 97, and others say that Gen Z starts in 97, and her birthday is literally like halfway through 97. So it's like, what one is she of?
It's also like what I just looked up suggested 1981 to 1996, and which is 15 years. And like, I feel no kinship with someone born in 1980. Maybe someone born in the late 80s, I could probably identify with a bit more. But like, anyone born in like 81 is what, like, they are almost 30 at this point. No,
Yeah,
they're almost 40. They're almost 40 at this point, and like,
yeah, that's like, anyone that old seems like Gen X to me. Like no matter
yeah,
what.
like because they
I
came
mean,
of age.
obviously. Go ahead.
I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. They came of age in like I was, barely aware of myself in the 80s.
Yeah. Yeah, it's strange. It's like, because that would be like what the McElroys are, right? Who we listen to a lot of.
Yes, they are like upper bound millennial.
And for some reason, I was just thinking about that, like maybe yesterday or something. And I'm just like, I feel like I just don't hear anything about people from that time. You know what I mean? Like, it's like 90s is millennial, like 70s is Gen X, and 80s is just like a dead zone where you're neither.
Yeah, I do wonder if it's like
Well,
to
I
some
mean,
extent if it was.
oh, hello,
kind of-
sir. I mean, that's like the same way we're like, because we're like mid 90s or late 90s, it's
Yeah.
like we're neither because it's fake and bullshit and dumb.
Yeah.
But
Hey,
why get offended about it? Like,
Yeah, that's like
that's the weird thing.
for a 5-year age gap.
Yeah. There was, oh my God, there was this, oh, I didn't eat anything. Oh well.
That's interesting.
There was this party I went to. I think it was one of my friend's 21st. Yeah. And it was at his house. And he has a brother who is my brother's age. So 28?
Yes.
Actually 29 this May. And he had some friends from college there as well, for some reason, I don't know why, but and one of them was just like this total freaking doofus guy who was just trying to get everyone to like drink as much as possible. And I think he was still even younger than my friend's brother. Like, so he was like maybe 2 years older than us, like pretty much no more than that. And
so maybe 1 year older than Owen.
No, younger.
1 year younger than Owen.
Yeah, so
Right.
barely older than us. Owen is 4 years older than me.
Right. Okay. Yes. Okay.
And he was getting us to play like these drinking games or whatever, and like he brought up this one called Thumper. He called it, and
It's
it was
a
the
video game.
dumbest shit. Is it a video game?
It's a rhythm game.
Oh, well, anyway, it was the dumbest shit ever. It was like you just fucking bang on a table until you stop, and then you drink. It wasn't even a game, really.
That's how
It
all
was like,
drinking games sound to me.
it was like the most ill-conceived thing I'd ever heard of. And basically all of my friends felt the same. And we were doing it just to not be awkward, and we didn't drink anything, and he was just like, "Oh, you guys just don't get it. I can't believe you haven't heard of Thumper. It must be a generational thing." And we're like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And we pretty much like quote that to this day. Like, whenever like one of us doesn't get something, the other is saying.
That's a really good.
Must be a generational thing. Guy's like fucking a year and a half older than us. And he was like completely serious too, because he was a total dude bro. This thing is going to be dead in like a single tap.
So sorry if I knocked.
Wow, I think that might have been literally one shot.
Literally a single tap.
Yeah. Because it was just, I think it just holds it at 1 health while it's doing its flail.
I carved at least one rubbery. I've carved 2 rubbery fine hides, and it's a 100% reward for this, so I got the 3 I need.
Okay.
I also got at least 3 then.
Congratulations, you are now a criminal.
If you guys could be a criminal, what kind of criminal would you be?
I mean, like, obviously, like, gentleman thief is, like, that's pretty much, like, the ideal criminal, I would think. But, like, if you're talking, like, real crimes that actually happen...
You can be a gentleman thief. Like, I would be a bank robber that, like...
Sort of.
I would be a bank robber that everyone's happy that they got robbed by.
How would you accomplish that?
I don't know, just be very genial and pleasant during the bank robbery.
So you'd be Pierre Despereaux from Psych.
That's more gentleman thief.
Well, how would
maybe...
you... How do you just, like, calmly accomplish a robbery?
I don't know, man. Like, I didn't set this as, like, the bounds of reality. Just, like...
Oh, okay, we don't have... Alright.
See, Jordan, when you asked me that, my immediate thought was, even though this is on every level not a good or correct answer, my immediately first thought was sex criminals because of the Chip Zdarsky Matt Fraction comic.
Yeah,
People
sex
say
criminals...
it's good. I don't know anything about it.
I've read, like, the first issue, and I couldn't really get into it, but...
It doesn't seem like my vibe at all.
People like it.
Sound like it.
Like, it's... I think the plot line is that, like, they're these 2 criminals who can stop time whenever they're having sex. And so that's, like, the bit. And I don't know anything else about it.
That sounds like
But
it has a lot of sex in it.
It is an extremely well-liked comic.
How horny is it? How
Not
do
sure.
they not make that horny?
It is an Image comic, so it can be as horny as it wants.
Ah, I see. Alright, so now we gotta decide how to muck this whole situation up.
The waste
Even
is what's
further.
giving me pause.
Yeah, because obviously we will need to transmog a waste piece. I mean,
The dragon sheath they're wearing, he still looks real stupid.
let's see. Where is it?
Page 95 for me. Out of 97, dragon sheath fatalis.
Oh, just like straight
Oh
up
no, that's the
fatality?
gunner. Oh, is that the gunner? Oh no, I'm currently... Oh no, that's saying I am currently a Blade Master. Fuck. Yeah, sorry, that was the gunner armor. Oh, that would have been so dumb.
Is it? So it's rare 10, right?
Yeah.
And called what again?
It was called Dragon Sheath for me. It's the Fatalis gunner.
I mean, mine are just called Fatalis.
Weird.
Like, do you have Fatalis Crimson Barbs and Fatalis Crimson Scale?
No.
Okay. So that's just they're very normal looking.
Oh, the one for me just had like ass wings, like wings that were like
Oh,
by your thighs.
uh,
It looked bad.
hmm.
Oh, what if isn't there a it's DLC, but isn't there a
I was gonna go back to the DLC.
isn't there an Attack on Titan thing
Oh, God. There might be.
where we could just have like that fucking silly ass hip sheath thing?
I mean, that would just be really weird and dumb. But
I mean, that seems
those
in
are
line
cool.
for us.
oh my God, those are so cool. We need to just do all the DLC and get all of it. General.
Gorefald's X also has a weird ass wing thing going on. I'm just looking for ass wings now.
Great.
I was initially looking for something that would be like subtle, but
No, Saturday is for the week.
ooh, or Najaralafalds, which is gaudy.
Jarrell.
So
I'm getting
Chris.
I'm getting close to just making something and walking out as a test run, like a
I mean,
runway
you can
model.
make it. Yeah, I'm just standing here doing nothing. I'm watching hockey. How are you enjoying hockey, Chris?
Hockey is fake and dumb and bad, and all sports are bad and should be canceled forever.
What's wrong?
The Blue Jackets are missing 4 or 5 of their top 6 and their top and 3 of their top 5 defensemen
Yeah,
and their top
Okay.
goalie.
they've had a pretty rough year. I can kind of sympathize right now, not for very long, but
McDavid is dead.
well, the Oilers' entire top line is out. Like a chunk of their like supporting players are also out, and then also their top pivotal to their success is also out. So
Good thing you play in the literal worst division in the league and not the literal best.
that's true.
That
And
is
we also
just
have the best player in the
sunglasses.
league. But enough about Drysdale.
I get it.
There is
Yes,
just
joke.
sunglasses if we wanted to do sunglasses.
I already have a face ready to come out and pitch. I'm just looking for a good stupid waist.
Okay.
You feel free to keep
Is-
looking
are you-
at hats though.
Uniqlo waist that's just like a belt.
There are a bunch of just belts.
All right.
Like the chakra waistlet is literally nothing.
Oh, there is one that is literally. Okay. Well, that's always enough.
That makes me look like a pervert. I'm not doing that.
This strange mustachioed gentleman is just. He appears in quite a few Palico armors, and I don't. Not a fan of it.
I don't care for that shit at all.
No.
Wait, they put Spring Mustachio in this game? That's impressive.
Wow, that was such a reference.
Yeah, that one was a deep cut.
I'm not
Oh
sure
my
I
god. It's from One Punch Man.
get it. Oh,
Spring Mustachio was like an A-level hero who appeared in like one episode.